Well, howdy, howdy.
Dandelion-S. Hey, it's Doug.
How's everything going?
Good. I got you on. I'm recording this. We're not live. I'm just recording it.
Oh, okay.
So let me see if I can make it. My bird's gonna chime in. Hey, Beth and I watched the whole thing like you were in there. I was shocked that he only got 10 years plus a year off of that for already being locked up. How'd you feel about that?
I could have vomited. I was so disgusted by that, knowing that he'd gotten a DUI 10 years prior. And did you catch the little part where I do believe it was his father was up giving his impact statement, and he made mention that he hit Andrew going over 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, we never heard that. I never heard that. And I also, his father said it a couple times. He hit him so perfectly in the back of his car that you probably couldn't even do that if you tried to do it sober. He hit him so squarely perfectly. That blew my mind. Like it wasn't an accident. You know, it was like he purposely tried to hit something.
Oh, and the part that, what was it, maybe the 30 minutes before, not even that, he made 90 calls to the suicide hotline.
Yes.
Yep, Beth and I were watching that.
Intentionally.
The
He intentionally hit him.
Yep, and the judge even said, "Please shut up, bird." I'm sorry, my bird.
Oh, you're fine.
He 15 minutes before that, and the judge said you could have picked a cliff, a pole, a building. You could have picked anything, and he wouldn't do it. I'm just blown away.
I'm disgusted by it. It was just disgusting. I was in tears. His wife and father and mother were sitting 2 benches in front of me, and there was probably a good 15, 20 people that showed up for Andrew this time, which was nice to see.
I saw that, and look, just so everybody knows, I didn't start this YouTube channel to cover this, but without you, this wouldn't be what it is. So I just want to personally thank you for helping us bring this to some of the people that can't get information on this. The internet is woefully inadequate when it comes to supplying people with information on this stuff. It was for me and you. You and I had to dig for it.
And unless you pay to get people's records, it's dang near impossible.
I got about $50 in it, in the stuff that I've had to pay for, and you got to be very careful doing that. But what I'm just trying to say is thank you for everything you did. And let me ask you something: when you were in the courtroom, was one side supposed to be for the plaintiff or the defendant, and one side for the victim? Because it looked like no one was sitting on the one side, maybe 1 or 2 people, and everybody was sitting behind the family.
There was an attorney that was sitting on his side, and towards the end of the hearing, there was what I assumed to be another attorney that came in and sat on that side, but all of Andrew's family and friends, they generally will sit on the prosecution side.
Okay.
Regardless of what kind of case it is. But
was everybody crying was everybody emotional, in the courtroom?
Yes, they were. Even I got emotional. The second his dad started speaking, it was just, how could you not be upset over the senseless loss of Andrew's life? It was just, I don't know, dude. I just don't get how people can want to end their own life and then they end up tragically wrecking everyone but their own.
Yeah, it happens a lot more than, it's not just this one, there's a lot of them like that.
Yeah, it just, I can't fathom. I just can't fathom. I can't wrap my mind around any of what happened in this. It was just so disgustingly sad.
Did you know that Ragnar was an officer in the Army?
I had no idea that he made rank at all in the Army until today. I just knew that he had served.
So
that he was in battle, but I don't know. I kind of rolled my eyes when it come to his statement and whatnot, because it was just a bunch of
excuses.
Yeah, that's all I saw, and I was sitting back there rolling my damn eyes, because I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter all the good things that you do in life if you're gonna negate it doing some dumb shit like what he did.
100%. And what struck me, and it sounds like, because you and me and my wife have talked a few times, not about this, and you seem very intelligent to me. Do you know anything about the military? Because my whole family was military. Do you know anything about rank and stuff like that?
Not much. My oldest daughter was in the Navy for a couple years, but she got out. But my dad was in Vietnam. I had an uncle that went to war. My grandfather was in the services, but really, all in all, I know nothing about none of it.
Well, see, you and I are very similar then, because my wife's oldest son was Army. He got injured over there, and my father, World War II, Korea. My brother retired a colonel from the Air Force. He's a dentist. And the one thing I know about military is to become an officer is not just you going to school for a couple of years. To become an officer, especially in the Army or the Marine Corps or any branch, to become an officer takes quite a bit of dedication, quite a bit of intelligence, quite a bit of restraint, and that's why it struck me so much to find out that he was actually not an enlisted. He was an officer. So was Andrew's father. Andrew's father was a retired colonel. That didn't surprise me.
Well, I don't know. The whole thing to me was just disgusting today. He sat there crying. But he started off crying when Andrew's father got up there. And then it was like he would get bored of it and forget that he was supposed to be somber and sorrowful about his actions. And then he would start crying again. It would just, I don't know, to me it just seemed rather staged on his part.
And I felt the same way when we were doing the live stream. A couple times I said, he just wiped his face. He just looked down. I was, I'm an actor. I'm in show business. I might not be successful, but I know my job and I can spot it. And I wasn't in the courtroom and can't say for sure, but to me it looked like he was playing his part to get his 10 years. Because, I just don't think 10 years is fair. I just don't think it's fair.
That's the maximum.
That's the maximum. Yeah, even the prosecutor said it,
It's not even remotely fair. And Evelyn's statement, I was crying through her whole statement that she had to give. It was just actually one of the saddest things I've probably witnessed in person in a really, really, really long time.
I agree. I would have to agree with that, Dandy. And I'll tell you, she when they said that he was 5 miles away from his house and he had just talked to her on the phone and he was heading home and no goodbye, no spend fun, we had a good run, I'll be there in a couple minutes. And then you
4 minutes.
Never, ever, ever have another lucid conversation with the person you married. Never, ever have another good, hey, sorry, this fucked up, it didn't work out. You know what? That's it. I mean, I can't even, like you just said, I can't put it together in my head how to accept this. I just don't,
Yeah.
Imagine her.
I'm not sure which one of them said it. It might have been his father, it might have been Evelyn, but 4 minutes from home. 4 minutes. And he had just spoken to his wife and was like, hey, babe, I'll be home soon. Yeah. And, it was the last time she ever talked to her husband. It's just saddest thing ever.
Yeah, and he when the dad was up there talking about the time, like the time element of when we did this, when we did that, when they did the MRI, all that stuff, man, that may put a lump in my throat, because you could just imagine, I mean, you're a mom, can you imagine that with your kid going, oh, well, it happened 2 days ago, he's going to get better, He's gonna
Having hope.
yeah, and they were they were like not only praying or whatever, they were just like willing it. It was like, oh, this guy's he's a tough guy, he's gonna get better. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with, and when he said his right, whatever it was, right side or left side, it gave me too much of the visual was terrible, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you've seen the pictures of the aftermath of the wreckage and whatnot, which was, I don't know how either one of them not necessarily walked away, but I don't know how either one of them survived.
Nor do I. And the whole thing behind it is a couple times it sounded like they were saying how much rehab he had. Like he was in hospital for 2 months and all that. And I was thinking, yeah, he did it. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. And I wound up doing it anyway. I wound up feeling sorry for him anyway. Did you have any of that going on?
For him, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was not, I didn't feel any twinge of anything remotely close to emotion for him. His decisions is what led us here, and they were piss poor, and it sounds like since he was discharged, however he was discharged from his military service, that it's been nothing but downhill. And I'm sorry he's had a bad upbringing and all of these other excuses that were brought in, but you're an adult, dude. Get your fucking life together and pull your head out of your butt.
Absolutely.
You already had one DUI, and that is it's not like you walk away unscathed for your first DUI. Did you not learn your lesson? Obviously not, but I don't feel any bit of anything for him. But they did say ultimately that he was gonna have permanent life altering, whatever happened to him in this accident, whatever injuries he sustained, they did say were going to be for the remainder of his life, which, good.
Yeah.
I hate to say it,
no, I know.
Callous, but good. Let that be an everyday constant reminder on top of the mental anguish that I'm sure he hopefully is going through on a day-to-day basis. But let that be an everlasting reminder, especially when he gets out of prison here in 6-7 years.
Right.
It's that long.
And and I'm not trying to be callous here or anything, but there's a lot of people out there that had a rough childhood. There's a lot of people out there that grew up with no love and all that, and they didn't run anybody over. And when I hear people talk about stuff like that, I'm always like, hey, you know what? That's a terrible thing for a kid to be treated like that, for a little innocent kid, 9, 10, 12, 15 years old, whatever, to have to go through that type of pain and anguish. But the fact remains, don't put your shit off on other people and cost them their life. That's just, I hate to keep saying that because I feel like a broken record, but I'm sorry bad stuff happened to you. That doesn't give you a pass to do bad shit to other people.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could cry the same old song and dance, I had a bad upbringing and people were mean, but that is no excuse as an adult, especially when you already know that you're messed up, because it's not like this dude wasn't full aware.
He knew
that he wasn't right. But as an adult, it's your choice whether or not to seek treatment and to get yourself on the right path.
Yeah, it's all
it's your own. Ended up in the tragic loss of somebody's life, somebody that was thoroughly loved.
It almost for a second there, kind of a strange coincidence that he was so low, and Andrew was so high. In other words, like Andrew was living a happy life and just going home with some half and half for coffee in the car in his video, and Ragnar, they keep calling him that, was driving in a car 85 miles an hour wanting to find his own death. And somehow or another, those two ley lines crossed each other. It just makes me, I don't even want to go into this, but it just makes me think that there ain't nobody looking out for us. It's, how is that fair? That's not fair.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interject my own irrationality there, but I just feel like of all people, this shouldn't have been him. But look, I know it's supper time, and we'll talk more. We'll do another video about this soon, and I just want to say thank you, Dandy, for doing this. And Dandy doesn't care about subscribers, but it's Dandy Lioness 78, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so if you want it, she's awesome, she's funny, she's talented, she does a lot of cool stuff. So if you want to follow somebody interested, please follow Dandy. She's awesome. So thank you.
If you want to follow somebody that doesn't have a channel,
right.
follow me.
That shows you how much better she is than me. I have a channel. You can follow her. Anyway, but thank you, and we will talk again soon.
Oh, you're welcome. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye. She's awesome. We couldn't do it without her.